My name is Kim Nielsen. I'm the founder of 3XN Architects. We are situated in Copenhagen with the main office. Have another office in Stockholm, one in Sydney and one in New York. 3XN has a vision about that architecture is about how architecture makes behavior for people. Everything we do has influence in people's behavior. So that's very important in how we design the buildings. Architecture is everything that we are in around us. Good architecture is of course what makes you feel good, makes you perform good, and makes you interact in a nice way. So architecture is all our physical environments, and we try to make architecture as good as possible for people that are working together, to make them interact in a nice way and to perform better. And same with the school, to make kids understand better and learn better. So this is architecture for me. It's been a long way. The office is 32 years old, so I started it just after I graduated, more or less. We were 3 Nielsens that started it. But when we came into the crisis in 2008, we had already done a couple of buildings abroad, a music building in Amsterdam and the Danish embassy in Berlin, but not very much. But after the crisis, we realized that we have to be global to be sure we wouldn't get into another crisis. For one reason. Another reason is that we really wanted to do special buildings. And to be honest, Denmark is only 5.5 million people, so how many special buildings is needed there? So there's a lot more need, of course, globally. So that's why we became global. We also have a research department called GXN. G for green and N for Nielsen. I'm a Nielsen. So GXN is researching in green technologies and green materials, and also in architecture and behavior. We have 4 PhDs looking into how different kinds of environments has influence in people's behavior. So that is one of the big topics, I think, right now. And we're also looking into AI and robot techniques, because in the future, to be honest, half of the work that architects' offices will be done by robots. So we can as well look into how can we use this technology to do even better big buildings in the future. We started our research 13 years ago when I met Kasper Gullager, who is now a partner in charge of our research. And that was very much because we always thought we were a little bit behind the materials. We had to choose only from what was on the shelves, and I thought we needed a lot more knowledge about green technologies in the future. So that was already 13 years ago. And because we've had it for such a long time, now it's 20 people. We have 20 researchers doing only research. So it's actually become quite a big part of the office here. So now we have a lot of knowledge about new materials, new technologies, and architecture and behavior and so on. That is grown up to be sort of a big business as well, because everything is sponsored by big foundations from countries or from EU or whatever. So BIM is very important for designing what we're doing right now. It's been that in some of the latest projects, like for example the Blue Planet Aquarium that we did. We had this morph shape, and just to do this morph shape within a limited budget would be impossible 20 years ago. But with BIM we can get everything in line and optimize everything, so it becomes not so costly. And for example, the IOC building, the Olympic Games headquarters that we done, is highly done with BIM, because everything is shaped in different ways. So everything is measured by BIM in parametric design while we're designing it. So we have control of all the different measurements and all the different sizes, and can optimize the building process as well. And the same with the fish market as well. So the BIM is crucial for how we design now. And of course BIM has influence in what we can do and how we can shape the buildings. So it is a working tool, but it is a tool that makes it possible for us to design more exciting structures than we could 10 years ago. It is so lucky that we have been working in Sydney for 4 years, and actually I've been coming to Sydney for the last 20 years. So I got to know more and more about what Sydney is all about. Sydney is one of my favorite cities, and it's a culture that's very, very close to our culture. So it has been easy for us to work there. There's a very generous, very open attitude towards us as Danes. It has to do a little bit to do with the Danish crown prince is married to an Australian. So that made it a little bit easier as well. That's another story. But anyway, so we have been coming down there for so many years, and I have been coming to the fish market many times before, the existing fish market. So we knew everything about it before we started up. And even after we started up, we did a lot of research at the existing fish market, how it was functioning. We interviewed the people at the fish market, and we had a lot of work together with the local community as well to get really into the job. The fish market is very much designed from inside out in that way that it is a building around the fish market and not a building where we put the fish market in. That is why we won the competition, the client said, because we really wanted to work on the terms of the fish market. So we have on the ground floor, we have the loading and the wholesale, the auction, all this that has to do with the professional fish market thing is on the ground level. And that's not open for visitors. You can look into it, but you cannot walk in there. You have to be professional to go in there. So on top of that, we have put a sweeping landscape where everybody can come up and be part of the retail part. So up there we have the retail. There they sell fish, you can eat fish, there's a lot of restaurants, and there will be a lot of different cultural activities as well. I think the whole building is sort of becoming a community center for the area as well. That